Welcome to episode 11. I've got to start this vlog with a clip of this formation helicopter practice display. Just so cool. Big wingovers, flying backwards, all synchronized. Amazing. Later in the video, you actually see me joining the circuit above them as they leave. Anyway, today I fly my first solo navigation exercise. To gain my license, I have to fly a minimum of 5 hours of navigation exercises, 3 of which have to be solo. There's a lot to navigation, triangles of velocities, headings, tracks, magnetic deviation, weather, diversions, so much. So I've worked through a flight plan with my instructor today, and the plan is a simple one. I leave the circuit for the first time to the south, about 12 nautical miles, following an old Roman road called the Fossway, which is just dead straight down to the M4. I've highlighted that in red here. It's dead easy to follow, and you'll see that in this video. Then at the M4, turn 180 and come back again, make an overhead join for runway 26 grass. Challenges today include some haze, not great viz, and some thermal activity. I don't do a fat lot of talking in this one. I was concentrating on where I was going, but on the whole, the navigation part couldn't be easier, and I didn't need too much help from either the map or GPS. The visibility isn't as bad as it looks on the camera. I've kept this fairly tightly edited and cut out many of my checks as well, just to bear that in mind.
Okay, so T's and P's, absolutely fine, 200 feet, laps away.
Golf Alpha Foxtrot is overhead, starting descent on the dead side. Golf Alpha Foxtrot, Roger, give you a look out for the departing traffic and
Go down right, looking for traffic.
Port down with Golf Alpha Foxtrot.
The Roman road I'll be following is to the left. You can clearly see that here. It's a nice easy target to stick to.
Okay, so let's get to 1,000 feet, we'll leave the ATZ.
Sunny Mike Bravo is ready for this.
Kemble information, Golf Romeo Lima Sierra, student pilot leaving the ATZ, staying on frequency.
Lima Sierra, Roger, basic service, Cotswold 1022.
1022, Wilco, Golf Lima Sierra.
Here I'm making a right turn to avoid some traffic. It was above and heading away, but it's good to make yourself more visible by making a turn. In an instance like this, both aircraft heading towards each other should turn right. Below you can still see I'm on track with that Roman road.
Looking slow on the M4 down there.
So we're just getting to my turning point after a straightforward leg to the M4, which took about 10 minutes. Always looking for fields in case of an engine failure. You can see plenty to choose from here. I'm about 5 minutes away from the Kemble ATZ now, so I make the call to rejoin, and to my left the Fossway, the road I've been tracking along. Really funny, as I landed, a mate messaged a picture of me flying over Malmesbury, which made me smile.
Kemble information, student pilot, Golf Romeo Lima Sierra, west Abeam, Malmesbury for the rejoin.
Lima Sierra, Roger, if you can report joining overhead, please, runway 26 left-hand in use, QFE 1009er.
26 left hand, 1009er, Wilco, Golf Lima Sierra.
Check out the 2 helicopters departing the circuit below me. They were practicing a display before I departed. Amazing.
Gazelle formation departing from the downwind ledge to the southeast.
Little report change of frequency, Cotswold 1022.
1022, Wilco, Gazelle formation. Thanks so much for your help.
That's so cool.
So by this point, I've done another Frida check, entered the ATZ, and changed to the QFE, and I joined the circuit overhead at 2,000 feet. You can see me here just adjusting my altitude with power. David informed me I'd need to fly as accurately as possible here because of the haze, so any joining traffic would know exactly where I was.
Student Golf Lima Sierra overhead for runway 26 grass.
Student Golf Lima Sierra, Roger, report downwind left-hand for runway 26. There's 1 helicopter remaining in the circuit, the 2 PA-28s are about to depart.
Report downwind, Wilco, Golf Lima Sierra.
Kemble information, Gazelle formation, request frequency change to 135.480.
Gazelle formation, Roger, have a good trip back, Cotswold 1022. Good night.
1022, thanks. Gazelle formation, frequency change to 135.480. Go.
I start to descend dead side, but I joined the circuit a little bit too far up the runway really, which could be an issue if there was any departing traffic at the same altitude.
Student Golf Lima Sierra, downwind to land, runway 26 grass.
Golf Lima Sierra, report final for 26 grass.
Wilco, Golf Lima Sierra.
Golf Echo Delta Golf India, Kemble information, pass your message.
Golf Echo Delta Golf India, Republic 5, sir. We're 8 site 2 on board. Request start VFR 2 Wellsbourne.
So trim for landing checks then, trim, feels good. Wind, we know it's coming from.
Roger, report ready to taxi, 26 left hand in use.
Towards front, all clear. Is it all clear? Are we looking good? Yeah, I think we're all clear.
Kemble 26 left hand 1024 secure, 8 Wilco Golf India.
Security, cool. Fuel, sufficient to go around. Undercarriage, great. Temperatures and gauges are absolutely fine. We're going to turn. Checking final. Having a good check final. First stage of flat.
Golf Lima Sierra, final to land, runway 26 grass.
Golf Lima Sierra, roger, land 26 grass at your discretion, surface wind 180 degrees, 5 knots.
Landing Golf Lima Sierra.
Final approach into the sun. Pretty hard to see the runway here. I was pretty happy with the landing. I tried to slowly pull my power back to idle, but you'll notice in a moment I pull the power back to idle too quickly, really, and then decide to add a bit more in, and I was a bit all over the place with that. But in hindsight, that just wasn't needed, and I could have glided in quite happily. I'm sure David would still tell me, more right rudder. Whew. So, I think that went pretty well today. It's really hard judging stuff on how well it's gone when you're on your own, because normally you have an instructor. Like, how cool is this, by the way? How many airfields can you have when it's just like an old school jet? I mean, tell me in the comments, what is that? I don't know, I should do my research. What is that plane? Amazing. It's really hard though when you're normally used to flying with people or an instructor who tells you everything and how you've done, and then you go to fly on your own and it's like, I have no idea how I did. He had a look at my log of where I was on my GPS, and he said it looked pretty good. The overhead join was nice and neat. I'll put a screen grab of that on the screen now. Real buzzing after doing that. I can't wait to take people up with me and get my license now. It's pretty bumpy below 2,000 feet, 2,500 feet today. But hopefully I'm going to be flying on Monday again, and we'll do my first dual navigation exercise, so landing for the first time anywhere other than here. So that'll be a really interesting exercise. So hopefully next week, at the end of next week, I'll get that video out as well. So again, subscribe to the videos. It means so much if you do, and give this one a thumbs up as well, and stick a comment as well. Let me know how you're getting on with your training if you're watching these doing a similar sort of thing. In the meantime, have a good one.